Sunny 93.3, thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. I've got a special guest joining me. I have Dan Bublitz Jr., and he is one of the people that's helping to put together the 3rd annual Snow Jam Comedy Festival. Dan, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you today, John?
I'm very good. I've known Dan since he was just a little boy without a beard. Now he's kind of a little boy with a beard. So it's cool to know you all these years. And you're a very funny guy. You've got kind of got involved in comedy when? When did you very first start getting involved in comedy, Dan?
I got involved in comedy back in 2010.
What was it that kind of drew you into that? How did you get involved?
Well, I got divorced, and that led me to
that does the trick.
Comedy.
You actually did a performance, like a one-man show. Was that a year ago or 2 years ago already?
A little over a year ago.
And my son and I went and saw that. It was really cool. And then since then, you've filmed that, and people can watch it online. Is that right?
Yeah, it's streaming on Amazon Video and Amazon Prime. It's called "It Was Supposed to Be a Love Story."
Well, we'll make sure we throw a link to that as well. But we're also going to talk now about the 3rd annual Snow Jam Comedy Festival. This is something that you and a couple other guys kind of got together 3 years ago and started. It's probably more than 3 years ago you started working on it, because the first one was 3 years ago. But how did this idea come about?
Well, as far as the idea, I think it kind of started as a joke. One of the other producers, one of the other co-producers, said something about starting a comedy festival in the middle of winter, and that was Timmy Williams, and I was like, so I messaged him, and I was like, hey, are you serious? Because I'm all about starting comedy festivals, because I've helped with other festivals. I helped run the San Diego Comedy Festival for 5 years, so I would already been kind of kicking an idea around about bringing a festival to South Dakota, because at the time there wasn't any comedy festivals or anything like that here in South Dakota. Nice. And so he was like, well, yeah, I'm kind of serious. And then we decided to bring Nathan Holtz in, because, he's another great comic and knows the community well. And then the three of us just kind of took it from there. And now there's 4 of us that help produce it. We've, Luke Johnson, who's another local comic in Sioux Falls, been a big help. So
that's really cool. And I'm really happy for you guys, because the first year was good, the second year was great, and now we're coming up on the 3rd year. It's going to be even better, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. We're doing things this year that we haven't did in the past. One of the big things that we're doing this year that's different than the last 2 years is that we're bringing in a celebrity comedian to do not only is he doing a show, he's doing a show at Icon, but he's also doing a class. He's doing a sketch writing workshop. And that's Kevin McDonald from Kids in the Hall and That 70s Show.
I remember watching him when I was growing up, and he's always been just such a funny guy, and I love his type of humor. So I'm excited. We're going to be doing an interview with him here in the next couple of weeks, and that'll be on the program here as well. But I'm super excited to see him perform, and also if people want to go and be a part of the workshop, how do they get tickets for all of this stuff so they can make sure they get to take it in while it's here in town?
All they got to do is go to SiouxFallsSnoJamComedyFest.com. All the events and the full schedule and tickets and everything are available. We have one of the big things that we have is we have a 3-day all-access pass, which is $50. That gets you pretty much into every event except for the class. The class is separate. The workshop is separate. But tickets for that are available on the website as well.
I've got a link to make it really easy to find at sunnyradio.com. There's a link that takes you right there. So if you don't want to type all of that out, you can find a really simple way to get to it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Another thing I want to mention quick, too, that we're doing that we haven't done in the past is, we have all kinds of showcases throughout the 3 days. We've got, theme shows, stand-up shows. We've got live podcast recordings. And then this year we've added a rave. We're going to have a rave Friday night at Icon.
Oh, wow. Now, what is a rave? How does that work?
Well, it's just basically a big dance party. There's a cover at the door. And then unless you have a 3-day pass, then that grants you access to it. But it's basically just a party for people that are at the festival. Comics will be there. industry will probably, well, if we have any industry, they'll be there. Sponsors will be there. It's just kind of a big networking event. And then the best part about this comedy festival is that the net proceeds benefit Special Olympics South Dakota.
And I think that's a really cool thing, because as you guys were putting this together, I'm glad that you tied into a wonderful nonprofit. So you can, come here, laugh, have fun. Everybody has a good time, but you're also supporting an amazing cause as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And so far in the last 2 years, we've already raised just over $5,000 for the organization. So,
and I love the fact that it doubled last year, a little over doubled last year from the year before. So that means that our sights are set pretty high for this year, aren't they?
Oh yeah. We've got a lot more into it, and hoping we get a lot more out of it this year.
Well, if people would like to join us for this really fun third annual Snow Jam Comedy Festival, again, tickets are available now. We've got a link at sunnyradio.com going right to the website. But as you and I were talking ahead of time, I thought it was something that maybe we should be stressing a little more. Get your tickets in advance, especially for Kevin, because if you don't, you might not get to go see that, right?
Exactly. Tickets are selling fast. And last year we had to turn people away from shows. Almost every show sold out. So I would definitely recommend getting your tickets in advance.
And the tickets, again, are available right through the website, SiouxFallsSnoJamComedyFest-10-DanBublitz. And like I've been saying, if you don't want to type all of that out, we have a link at sunnyradio.com as well. Dan, thank you so much for taking the time to chat, but also thank you for putting this event together with Nate and with Timmy and also now with Luke. I think it's really cool you guys are doing this, and Sioux Falls needs this. It's a great event, and I'm glad that it's going on, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Well, thank you for having me on, and thanks for being a part of it.
Always happy to help. Again, Dan Bublitz Jr. has been our guest today, and in addition to being a comedian, Dan, you also have a podcast. Let's make sure we mention that as well.
Yep, I have a podcast called The Art of Bombing, and basically I talk to different artists about finding success through failure.
And failure is a part of growing. There was just this big football game the other day called the Super Bowl, and the Amazon ad, I don't know if you saw that, but it was all about failing. Did you see the ad?
I don't know if I saw that one. I must have missed it.
It was pretty clever. They were showing all of the examples of Alexa that didn't work, and there was like an Alexa toothbrush, and there was an Alexa dog collar, and Harrison Ford's dog ordered a bunch of dog food. And it was very clever, but the message was basically, they failed a lot before they came up with what they feel was the perfect machine. So I thought that was pretty clever. So just like you, with the podcast, everybody gets to share their stories of failure that lead to their, hopefully, story of success.
Exactly. I found that there's a lot to be learned from failures.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to throw a link to all of the stuff we've talked about on our Facebook page, facebook.com/sunnyradio. And then I also have a podcast version of this. So if you caught us at the very end and you missed something, you'll find that through our Facebook page as well. Dan, thank you again, sir. I appreciate it a bunch.
Thank you.
Again, Dan Bublitz Jr., he's with the third annual Sioux Falls Snow Jam Comedy Festival. It's coming up on Thursday, February 21st through Saturday, February 23rd. I would love it if you all come out and join us. There's not room for everybody, so get your tickets early. There's a link at the website, sunnyradio.com.